welcome. You're looking live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, the comedian, and as always, next to me is my wonderful husband, Glenn. He's not here with us. He's working, but I always say he's here in spirit. I have to give him a proper shout out because I did not give him and my little brother-in-law a big enough shout out. Last Friday, we did not have a show because on Wednesday night after the wildflowers, my husband and my brother-in-law and myself totally took the studio apart and they painted my entire downstairs along with the downstairs bedroom. We did not have a show on Friday, but they had everything back together for Wednesday, which is the wildflowers every Wednesday night. So this is our first episode of the Calamity Jones Hour in the green room. We're a greenish sage now. So thank you, Glenn, and I won't say my little brother-in-law's name, but he knows I love him. So this is a new studio. This is episode 36. If you found the show, please share the show. Share the show. We always tell you to share the show because you should share the show. No, because it's fun. Everybody tunes in. We all tune in together. And we try. This is a live interactive podcast. So if you comment to myself or the guest, we try to entertain your questions and comments. Every Wednesday, you can find myself and Bonnie Scalisi on the Wildflowers. And I do just have some live comedy dates to share with you before I bring on our guest, who's the youngest person I've ever met in my life. No, I'm just kidding. I met a 10-day-old baby the other day. But this one's just a little bit older. But she is the youngest guest on the show ever. What I want to say is I have some dates coming up. The 29th of May, going to be over at Round 2 in Bohemia or Ronkonkoma. I stand corrected with where the actual thing is. It says Bohemia on the on the flyer, so that's what I'm going to go with. June 4th, which is a Friday, I will be at Governor's in Bohemia. With Terry McNeely headlining, Bonnie Scalisi, a bunch of other funny people. June 5th, which is a Saturday, I'll be at Coaster at Vagisilly. That's an all-ladies lineup, less the closer and the host. That's going to be by Kristen Tinsley. That's going to be an awesome show. And then the most important show, the one that you have to go to if you go to any of these, is the free one, which is on June 7th, over at G's Club in West Hempstead. That is a free show, no drink or food minimum. And someone's saying don't forget to share. So whoever is saying don't forget to share, thank you. And I'm going to bring on this guest. I don't know why I'm not seeing it on here, but, oh, you know what? I'm going to go out and go back in because sometimes it does that to me. And we talk it through here. And let's get this up here. Now it's going to show. There we go. Yamming. All right. So this lovely little lady, like I said, she is such a youngster. I offered her a drink. And I said I was not going to say that, but I'm like, she's freaking 20 years old. But she carries herself with such grace that I thought she was an older young lady. Because people always say I look like I'm 12, so I just assume like other people are 12 too. So this young lady, she is an actress. She is a Latin pop music super fucking star. She's going to tell you all about everything and everything. You can find her on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. My friend, and now yours, Miss Sammi Rae Murciano. Woo! Did I say that right? Murciano? Okay. So let's start off by saying how we met. I always have to pay homage to Dan Romano. I actually was sitting in the audience for one of the comedy shows that he produced. I wasn't on the comedy show, and you sang in the little room. And I remember coming out of the show and Glenn going, God bless that girl. She's got a really good voice, and that room is not set up for music. That is really hard to do. Because here, we tell jokes and we just, sit around and try to have funny conversations. But trying to bring a level of production to music, people will not listen to it if it hurts their ears. People will overlook some of the stuff that we do here because it's silly and just, it's live. But music's not as forgiving. So I was actually listening to some of your music today. So first of all, you're 20 years old, which I can't even freaking believe, because I met you before, we've hung out, but we've never had like a one-on-one conversation like this. But like I said, you carry yourself like you're much older. You have music dating back to 2016 on Spotify. The song was Reflection. Now, that didn't sound like, that sounded like someone had been through like a really long life, like I'm talking 100 years on earth, actually saw some enlightenment, saw some, the song is called Reflection. It's really a great song. And you wrote that song yourself, or you wrote some of the song yourself, the lyrics?
That song I did write myself.
Wow.
Obviously I had some help with the producers, but it's definitely my feelings. Everything that I felt I put into the song based on my experience.
That's awesome, because I'm not lying to you. I listened to that stuff outside today, so that I could have my talking points. And I'm like, she really does. It sounds like, if somebody told me that someone older wrote the song, and because a lot of people do that. People don't think about that when they listen to music. They just think, oh, that girl, look at her, she's got it all, she's a triple threat. But somebody might have handed her what she's singing. They put her in the outfit she's in. But when you're at the beginning stages, like we are, I'm going to say we because I'm trying to build a career as well. You are doing a lot of this stuff yourself. So like you're in hair and makeup right now, but did you do that all yourself? And is that all practice? Is it something you enjoy doing? Like,
yeah, I definitely enjoy doing it. I mean, it's been a lot of practice to get to it, but yeah, I enjoy doing it.
When you were a kid, were you like dancer, like always on stage, like, or how did music come about in your life?
So I always loved to sing. I mean, I'm like very shy at first.
Right, you're a quiet kid.
Yes, I am. So, I've always was shy then, so I never really would sing for anyone.
But okay.
I started to, I started going to a studio just recording covers. That was kind of how it started.
Okay.
Then I wrote Reflection, and from releasing that, I had an opportunity. Someone reached out to me to perform at the legendary Bitter End in the city.
Okay. So
that was like my first experience, and when I got up on stage and just performing, even though I was very nervous, definitely, but I got up and I performed, and like the feeling of just being in front of a crowd was everything.
And releasing it being your own stuff, because that's why I got into comedy, because you get on stage and you get to talk about every part of you, where music is like that too. Like your music is shows a lot of vulnerability, and you're showing, like I said, like transformation. So she's Sammi Rae Murciano, like I have on top of the screen here, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. And you've also been in some movies too. So Streets 1 and 2, which I know Dan Romano was in, and now they're working on a third one. What was your role in that?
So I'm actually Dan's daughter in the movie.
Okay, and he's like the head mobster, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So, well, the third one was kind of a little different, I feel like. I mean, I don't want to say too much about it.
Okay.
But I definitely had more of like a main role in that.
Okay, cool. So, that's cool. So as the series is growing, your character is growing.
So I'm definitely excited for it to come out hopefully soon.
Now, do you think that that's something that would be, would that be something you'd really would love to do movies constantly, or is movies just a good way to get your face and name out there for the music?
I mean, I enjoy doing it, but music will always be number one. It's definitely a lot more. I mean, music is a lot. You have to put a lot into that too, but I feel like just music is what I love to do. So I enjoy the movies, but music will always be number one.
Yeah, because it's hard. And now, how do you like rehearse your lines or remember your lines when you do that?
Yeah, I just go over them. But for that, it's like you have to learn lines, then become the character too.
Right,
so
right.
It's a lot.
And how do you keep up? You're 20 years old, so like, I have this as a hobby that I'm trying to make something out of for on the side of doing my 40-hour work job. Like, how do you manage to be a kid and get all this done?
I mean, I started so young doing this, so it's always been what I love to do. So, I don't look at it as like a job. I look at it as obviously what I love to do, but it's also my career. So I put everything into it, and I don't, it makes me happy to do it. So
yeah, I think most kids your age are obsessed with something, whether it be gaming or they're putting hours and hours into something. And if it's creating content, man, you are really good at it. Like, I watched some of your videos, like with Las Vegas and some of these other people, and the production value and stuff. So the video you were telling me about, Nuka, which means never. Now, you wrote that song by yourself? Okay, and that's your newest release?
Yes.
Okay, and now a video came out for that, or the video is still in the works?
Yeah, the video came out for that. So that was, I guess, now a couple months ago.
Okay.
That was, I was working on the music, the Latin music. Well, first I started with pop music.
That's
how I started. Then I went into the Latin kind of music, and Nunca was the latest release for that. And so I wrote the song and I did the video. Basically, the song is, Nunca is never, so never gonna change. So it's about putting everything into a relationship or someone or whatever it is, and just giving too much and not getting the same return. But in the end, coming out stronger and never changing your ways for anyone.
Nice.
So that was, and the video shows that. I was able to. So that's the thing. I love doing music videos because you can showcase it and have a visual for it as well. So
right, I know, and some people don't get it without the visual. Because I know with joke telling you have to. I try to use my face and be expressive, and sometimes like. Even in a song, I'll go, oh, I really like that line because it goes, something, whatever, and my husband will go, oh, I didn't even think of it like that. I took the word that way, and I thought of it, it's got, symbolism and meaning. And now, one of the things with music is you got to kind of like, you got to get your name out there and face out there and give a lot of it away. So, like all these platforms that you're on, how do you get people to look at you, and how do you promote yourself, and how do you keep at it?
I mean, I try to be very active on social media with promoting, posting about the videos or my songs or when I'm in the studio and everything like that. I mean, a big part was shows, performing. Obviously, that hasn't really been in a while now, but when I was performing, that was a good way to get my name out there and try to promote as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, because you were on some big stages before COVID. What was, bring us back to one of your favorite performances or favorite numbers that you got to do live?
I mean, I've performed at a lot of different places, but I feel like I did Jones Beach Latin Night.
Oh, that's probably ill.
Yeah.
For people who don't know what Jones Beach is on Long Island, in New York, it's the namesake, but it's literally an amphitheater on the water. Like people have their boats in the ocean, like hanging out. Yeah. So, and the place is not covered. So that must have been wild.
The Latin nights are like insane because there's like literally thousands of people, and yeah, it's. I mean, I only did it once, obviously, but hopefully it'll be back.
Yeah, that's a huge thing to put on your resume. That must have felt really cool. Who are some of your favorite people that you've worked with? Because I know you've been featured on some stuff, and you've other people have picked you to work with them. Who are some of your favorites, or some people you'd want
to? I have.
Who do you tolerate? Sammi, who do you put up with?
I have some things that I'm working on now that wouldn't say yet, but I have some things that I'm working on with some people that I'm looking forward to. I've enjoyed working with everyone that I've worked with. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I mean,
oh, you're like me. You're very diplomatic, and everyone's great until you get to know them.
It's been an interesting experience working with each person, but everything I've learned, stuff coming out of it, and amazing music has come out of it. So I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, and being like just a sponge and being young, people sometimes people are intimidated, but some people are like, oh, they don't even see you as a threat. They see you as something different, and then they'll actually give you advice, not knowing, where if you were closer in age, maybe closer in what they feel is competition, and not like a mentor role. Now, I remember seeing, when you were saying you promote yourself, you take pictures and stuff, I remember seeing you were doing backstage, you were like, the video was like completely neon, like the room was like all neon. Who had put that together, and what song was that?
So that was for a song called Closer. That was the Latin song that I had done with the other artist, Las Vegas. So, that was the song. Kind of, we just had the idea of doing like a neon. There was this place in, where is it? I guess maybe Brooklyn or Long Island City.
Okay.
But there was like this place where they have like so many different rooms within that one location. So this was when we picked, and it was just kind of, it was different. It was very different. So we had the idea to do it there. And I think it was a cool concept. So
how long does it take, or does it take you typically, like to film a music video?
It really depends. You know, it depends who the like who's doing it, or you know, for myself, like for Nunca, it was 2 days of filming for that music video, where some videos take only a day or a couple hours. So it really depends. But I know for myself, like if I'm doing my own music video with a videographer, I put everything into it. So I'd rather
Yeah.
put so much time into it, but make sure it's perfect.
Right, right. We're gonna be on the beach and then we're gonna be at a mountain. It's
Exactly.
like, all right, that's gonna be 2 days of filming then. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that you get to have like artistic integrity like that and actually get to put a say in, because not everyone gets to do that. I mean, and you said you signed with a label.
Yes,
Just so congratulations.
Yes.
What's
No
the
one
name
really
of
knows about it, but yes, it's out there.
Tell me what's the name of the label?
It's called Tribeca Records, so it's Soho Johnny and John Velasco.
Okay. Okay. And like I said, she's on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. And now do they have like collaborations that you are like when you get signed to a label, is there a certain amount of songs that you're gonna do in a certain amount of time, or what is like how did your contract, or how does it work? May I ask?
Yeah. So it's very new, but right now I'm in the process. I'm working on an album and
Okay.
2 singles. So
Okay.
I've been just going with different producers. So producers I've known, people from the past, new people, and people that they've wanted me to work with. So it's everywhere. It's been in Long Island, we've been in Brooklyn, we've been in Queens, we've been in New Jersey, like everywhere. So it's definitely an experience. It's like every week is every day in the week. It's different studios, which I don't mind because I love doing it.
Yeah.
Just, it's been a lot, but I wouldn't want it any other way.
That's awesome, because I'm the same way. I see like my schedule filling up for the calendar, like summer filling up, and like to my husband yesterday, I'm like complaining like it's a lot of work and I'm tired, and but it's like, well, nobody asked you to do this ever, and it's like, I know, but I can't quit now, because you can't quit. I feel like once you've started, like I've made this like commitment now, and like I feel like you got to keep showing up now. Like I feel like you're very dependable. Every time I've heard your name's gonna be somewhere, I actually see you, because there's people that like, oh, you hear their name and then they're not actually there. So that's good. You're reliable. Where do you see yourself? Like, what would be your ideal? Like, who are you looking at? I know that you don't want to be like anybody else, but what stars are you looking at that you think's got it going on right now?
I mean, so I'm always asked this question, like, who do I look up to, this and that. Like, obviously there's so many talented, amazing artists. I go based off, I feel like if I hear a song and I like it, like I like it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to necessarily be an artist, but I mean, there are so many artists, in the Latin side, like Karol G is someone who I definitely think is amazing. In more like the pop side, Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, James Arthur. I mean, there's so many artists.
Can Bieber not have his hair like that though, please? I'm like, come on, I love you, dude. Like, it's why? Anybody seen Bieber's cornrows? Yes. That he looks like he did with mousse, loosely, hastily rolled cornrows. I don't know what those are. I told you Nancy Weems was going to be here. Nancy Weems, good to see you. Uncle Bruno is what she's saying. Uncle Bruno in the house. I knew you guys would be here. I was like, Sammi Rae's a Dan Romano kid. Dan Romano people in the house. Who else we got up here? Robin DeVito is saying hi, gorgeous. Robin, I'm going to take my jacket off. This is when Robin's always taking pictures when I'm being scandalous. No, because I'm literally sweating right now. The lights actually do make you sweat. So now, do you choreograph your own stuff? Do you have to learn dances?
So, for Nuka, actually, I learned a whole dance.
Okay.
I had 2 dancers that I had to meet up with, learn a dance. I only met up with them twice and learned the whole routine. So it was a lot. I mean, I think it definitely brought the video like to a whole new level, because like no one's really seen me that way, so it was definitely different when people saw that.
So, oh, okay. So you don't usually let you loose and dance like that?
When I was doing like the perform with the Latin music, we had like routines, so
okay.
I kind of danced, but I definitely, that's something I want to get more into, because I think it adds more to like a performance or a video.
Yeah, yeah. I saw this girl perform. Her name's she called herself Haley Jane and the Primates, and I think it's and the Primates because she's always with, like, it was a big band, like tubas and freaking saxophone, like all horn instruments. But she was singing her freaking heart out, and she had like 3 or 4 girls behind her, and they were all doing in unison. And it was like so tribal looking, and so like it was like a religious experience. It was so cool to watch them all, and they all had like really like intricate costumes, and they were all in unison, and it was just really cool to watch. Dancing, definitely. I always danced when I was a kid, and that, that's part of it. That's why when somebody, my friend Evan, who I had on Wildflowers this week, he was the first person I had emailed about stand-up comedy. I didn't know how to get into stand-up comedy, and he had his email up that he holds like practices. And so he's like, have you ever been on stage before? And I was like, yeah, I've danced like my whole life. And he like still to this day is like, oh, I wanted to know if you ever did comedy. But I'm like, but standing on a stage in front of people like that, you don't realize like everybody's eyeballs on you like that. Like, have you ever froze up?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I've been good. I mean, a couple times here and there, but it takes a lot, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like some people don't understand that, but it takes a lot to get up on stage.
Right, I know. I love it because so many people are like, oh yeah, I could be a stand-up comedian. I'm like, do it. Go ahead. And it's funny because there's two types of stand-up comedians. The ones that like stand-up karaoke, like to do karaoke, and then the ones that would never do karaoke in a million years, which is pretty funny. You said you started with covers. What's one of your favorite songs to sing?
One of my favorite songs. Oh God. I don't have like a favorite song.
Or one of the songs that you sung a lot when you first started, or one of the songs you got comfortable with, because you said that's kind of how you got comfortable, was knowing it was a song you already was pre-approved.
The first song I ever recorded was, "Just the Way You Are" by Bruno Mars.
Okay, yes, okay.
So
that's a cute song.
Yeah. I don't have any of those songs up anymore now on YouTube, but yeah, I recorded a lot of covers at first. That was kind of how I really started. So
now I'm too old for this because I'm 31. I'm an old lady. But are you on TikTok? Because that's like the
yeah.
You are?
I am to a point. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I know. What does that mean?
Because
you should be more.
Yeah, I definitely should be more. I think that's so like right now, like everyone.
Yeah, that's like Twitter too, and I'm like, yeah, okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm gonna hang out with the 6-year-olds on Facebook. Love you guys.
But yeah, I know that's definitely something. I try also like making TikToks with my music in it to try to get that out there too, because I feel like that's.
Yeah, someone had sent me a song the other day, and I was like, oh, I said I never heard the original. It was a YouTube of a girl singing what now I know to be as the original acoustic, and I was like, oh, I had never heard the original before, because I had on Spotify, a guy rapping with the girl's sample, which was great, and he was like, yeah, this sample is apparently all over TikTok, and I was like, oh, okay, that's where the kids are getting their samples from. And I saw a thing Cardi B saying, like, that's like the number one. She's like, I don't care about your numbers and their listen. She's like, if someone's dancing with your song in the back, that's like a big.
Yeah, well, yeah, and actually when we had done a couple of the releases, we did like, promotion with some people on like TikTok was one of them. So for our Closer, we had like, I think it was like 2 million views in total of people like dancing to the song and things like that. So it's definitely something that I know I have to keep doing, because I know that's like, there are sometimes I find songs on there just based off of like little clips of people doing, their own spin off of it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I know. People will listen to like solely like TikTok stuff. I'm like, they're like, oh, I go home and check my TikTok. I'm like, oh, okay. I called it TikTok the one day. My friend's like, all right, Granny, like the kids in their dang TikToks. What shirt do you have on? Nancy Weems, that's kind of, I don't know who she's talking to. Me? You? I don't. It's inappropriate, Nancy. I don't know what you're talking about. Nancy's saying, "Don't forget to share." We appreciate that. I have other questions for you. How do you stay balanced? I mean, like I said, you gotta be a kid sometimes too.
I mean, I obviously have my time. I spend time with my family, my friends, but music is definitely like everything. It is most of my time, but there's so much that goes into it, the writing, the recording, the everything. So, I mean, I just stay balanced, I guess, somehow. But yeah, like I said, I love it, so I don't mind putting everything into it.
Yeah, you're gonna, I'm gonna post after this, I'll post more of her music and easy links to find it in a couple of different places. Because like we were saying, like if you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, any of these places, Spotify, Apple Music, that's where you can listen to it. It's not all this extra added fees on top of it because you got to give it away in the beginning for people to know who you are. What's your next project that you have coming up, or what are you looking forward to next?
I mean, I'm ready to release another single. That's like definitely what I want to do.
Okay.
So that's what I've been working on right now, is working on a ton of music, demos and everything. So, hopefully within the next month or so, I'll have a new single out, because I love putting out new music, putting everything that I go through into my music and just releasing it to the world. That's like everything. So
yeah, you have to keep creating new content. That's the only way. I feel like, you know, me and my husband were talking about owning the rights to your stuff and having yourself. I'm like, for a really long time, you got to kind of give it away and give yourself and your time, so that way people use their time and they go, oh, well, that was so great. And then, oh, Sammi Rae's going to be at Jones Beach. I'm going to pay. I pay for that because I know tried and true how her music is. I know all the stuff she's done and given away, for free. And just that's really the way to get out there. And now, how do you feel about you were in the studio, you said this week. What is the process always the same, where you write lyrics and then they tell you, then they give you some samples and you say, oh, this would sound good with this? Or do you hear a song first and you go, oh, I would love to put music to that, words to that? What is the process? And is it always the same?
no, I mean, it's definitely different. So sometimes they'll give me, beats that they have or music that they've made, and they'll be like, okay, do like this, and then maybe I'll write to it, come up with a melody, or I'll actually be like there and create something right there with them, or obviously if it's a place far, they'll send me music, and then we'll work like through the phone and then go in. So it's always different, but it's nice to see like how people work differently.
Yeah.
And the best way, to go about it. So.
Yeah, that's always like the biggest flex in like rap music, when people are like putting out music from like, they're like, yeah, he's just in prison, he dropped an album, and it's like, yeah, because that means they got like a cell phone into jail, they got him beats, he was able to record like somehow this pristine recording and get it back out.
Yeah, now you can record like anywhere, like.
Yeah, I know that. Honestly, I'm sure the phone actually has probably a decent little microphone in there, right?
One producer was like, oh, record it from your phone, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, can you really do that?
Yeah.
But, I mean, thinking about it, you probably can.
Right.
For myself, I'm just like, wait, that's like.
Yeah. I've been low, but I've never been that low.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
Like a demo, so for them, they don't think it's not going to be a final thing. But.
Right. And honestly, I guess in their eyes, if you could sound good on a gritty phone, then they could clean you up nice,
And it's also for ideas too. Like if you have an idea and you just want to record it,
Right. Just to get it out, because if you don't remember the melody of it.
I'll sing something and I'll be like, wait, I gotta remember that. So it's a good way to record it.
That's really cool. What is something that's on your bucket list?
Oh god.
It doesn't have to be music related.
It probably would.
It's gonna be music related.
I mean, I wouldn't like something that like I want to do so badly is like to be able to tour around the world.
Okay.
That is something that I want to be able to do, and I feel like it will happen.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time, I guess. Hopefully when I have like actually put out the album and everything like that, then it'll be more of a reason to go tour.
Yeah. No, I definitely think. I think they said this weekend. I don't know anything, but apparently in New York City this weekend, a lot of stuff's opening up back to full capacity. And I think a lot of people now feel safer, and now it's good because people, you need to dance, you need to sing, you need music to in your life. It's a major thing, and I think that was one of the things that we realized being in the lockdown. It's like, what's important to us and what can we still do? And like my dad's girlfriend, she's like, yeah, we just listen to music in my freaking living room and dance and have drinks in the living room now. It's like, you can't stop us. But you continued creating. How did 2020 affect you?
I mean, music-wise, like creating-wise, it didn't affect. I mean, to some points because I couldn't go to a studio, but I was able to still write. But like traveling, I couldn't obviously travel and perform. Those are the two most things that impacted. I was supposed to go to Miami, I guess, in the beginning before COVID, and then to to go work with a really big producer there on a Latin track, and then everything happened. So hopefully, probably this summer I'll definitely be going down there
Good to reschedule.
So that should be good because it's with a big producer. So
nice.
Cool.
Yes. Cool. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes.
I love it. What is something that not everyone knows about you?
I don't know. I don't really know.
You play any instruments?
No, that I don't.
No instruments. You ever play any sports?
Oh yes, No one really knows this. I used to play basketball. I was on the basketball team.
Okay.
No one really knows that about me. What else? So I go by Sammi Rae. That's my thing. But my real name is Samantha Rachel. So that's where it came from.
Okay.
That's a little interesting fact.
Okay. It's funny because I'm Amanda, and a lot of people would call me Samantha. Like, I guess Samantha, similar amount of syllables and letters. I don't know. I really want to know why she's asking what shirt do you have on. It's still the top comment that I'm reading here before I scroll. Who wouldn't love you both? We love you, Nancy. Jan Brenner. TikTok makes me think of the sands through the hourglass. That's true. I'll listen 15 seconds and know if they're talented. Yeah, Nancy. Oh, and Nancy, that's a good thing then. We kept you around here. So I guess that's a sign of talent. She wouldn't have come back. Nancy would not keep coming back. She knows talent when she hears it. Trying to figure out what Florida governor signed today for music. Supposed to be good. Yeah, like I said, I think people are opening up and things are going back to some sort of stability, which is great. Because it really people need the live interaction, and something does get lost in the internet, just watching or just listening to a video versus
like a
live music, with a live band and stuff. How do you stay motivated? I know you say you love music, supposedly love music. No, but in the morning, what's your routine? Do you thank the gods, or do they drag you out and then around 12 you wake up? Like how what's
I'm definitely thankful for everything, definitely to have the opportunity to be doing this every day. I'm thankful obviously to my parents for letting me, live my dreams every day.
Yes, your mom I know is a big supporter. She's here with you tonight. I assume she was coming because I always see you guys together, which is great because you need to have constant support because it becomes so enveloped. Like I even said, I'm not going to ask you about this, but like, even when you start meeting guys and you start meeting potential partners, it's like, you need to be down with that. Like, my life, this is my life. And there's like, oh, but that you're not going to wear that outfit, or you're not going to dance with that guy like that. Yeah, I am, because we're going to show romance in this song. And dude, I'm singing about how much I love you, by the way. In this song, I'm just dancing with this other guy. So that's really like hard pill to swallow. Like, I'm really glad that I met Glenn before I started this crazy journey, because now he doesn't really know anything different. Had he met me and I was like, oh yeah, this is like this crazy thing I do like every other night, or like most of the time, pretty much all the time actually. Like, you're actually constantly, I'm writing jokes at all times. So,
that's something like people have to understand that, because not everyone understands like what goes into it.
Right. They only see the final production.
Exactly.
That's the thing. They see the tip of the iceberg. And that's the thing, like, so many people see, they see you all dolled up and all dressed up, but they don't see what goes into it. The hair and makeup, the grueling, and did I wear this outfit already? And this goes with this. And, it's a whole thing. And especially when you're working with other people, they're like, are they ever giving you your wardrobes or telling you got to be within this kind of parameters, or do you kind of just show up as Sammi Rae and they work with you?
Yeah, I kind of just show up, Sammi Rae. But it depends. Like, for my videos, like, we'll come up with like a treatment, so it'll be like what I should wear, but obviously it's my input of what I want.
Okay.
But basically we plan it out.
Like, so, color schemes,
colors and everything. Yeah. So,
okay.
And most of the videographer, I just want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Insommedia, they've done most of my music videos.
Insommedia.
So John Rodriguez, there's a ton of talented people that work with them, and they definitely are amazing. So if anyone wants to do a video, you should go work with them. Yeah,
hell yeah. I honestly, I've seen your videos. They're very high production quality, and I really respect what goes into this stuff now, because trying to put a podcast together, and it was actually a year to date where the systems stopped working. We had a problem, and me and Bonnie were like, forget it, we'll just use the phone. We literally had the phone tied to a wine bottle like this, and we did the show. And then I had a picture next to it of, you know, what our studio looks like now from the aerial view with the two screens, the two setup. But you had to go through those awkward moments to get to where you are, that not everyone necessarily sees or celebrates. Because it is a lot of tireless stuff, like you said, learning new dances. What do you think you see? What would be an ideal situation? I know you want to go. I know you want to do more traveling. You're going to write some more new music. I know we didn't mention The Order, which is one of the movies that you were in. That's like is it a horror movie? You said kind of like comic, like a doc, like a dark comedy, I guess they call them. And what was your role in that?
I don't know. It was like one of the
lady
girls,
that gets killed.
It was like one of the girls that was like, it was like a modeling contest kind of thing.
Okay.
Like one of the girls that gets like, I don't get killed, but like, oh, I just told this.
She lives.
I just know what happened.
It's all right. All right. Now I have to watch it because it's gonna look like you gonna get killed a bunch.
One of the girls, like in the thing of like trying to get killed.
Okay. So. The Order. I'll have to. And those are all Amazon Prime. All the movies that you're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure if The Order's out.
Okay.
Honestly, like, because it was like held back with COVID and things like that, so I'm not sure if it's officially out.
Okay. I know, because now people are like, oh, should we release it now? Should we just wait till next summer? Or should we, you have to time all of this stuff, all the content releases. Okay, so that's who you, any other shout outs you want to give?
I mean, I'm thankful for everyone that I've worked with and the people that are in my life and everyone who supports me. That is definitely, I appreciate everyone.
Yeah, Sammi Rae, man. I'm still blown away that you're 20 freaking years old. I'm like, I can't believe, I mean, I can believe it, but it really must be just like a second nature to you. Like really, like you really just don't know like you said, you don't know it any other way than just to be constantly producing, constantly. Ever think of doing anything else with, like, bigger, badder?
I don't know. I mean, it's just always what I've done, It's just what I love to do. I wouldn't see myself really doing anything else other than something to do with music,
Yeah.
It's just...
Do you ever, would you want to own a label with other people under you, or is it always like, no, you should just focus on yourself?
I mean, look, you never know what's going to happen in the future, but I feel like myself as an artist is kind of what I want to do. I mean, maybe when I get to a point where I'm like hopefully established and everything, then you never know. But
yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, you could be the Jay-Z. They were talking about that the other day, and Glenn, they're like, no one ever says anything bad about Jay-Z. Glenn's like, yeah, because he owns everything. I'm like, that's what I want to be. I want to be so big that no one says fucking anything. Yeah. No one says boo, because they're like, she fucking writes my check, like. But we have to fucking do a lot of tireless, thankless stuff. Yeah. And we were talking about before this started, it's really hard with people that actually even know you to get them to listen to your stuff and promote your stuff and just like our goddamn stuff, guys. I don't even care if you watch it or listen to it. Just like it, please. Like, share, follow. It's really hard, and especially when people are in this constant battle. I know, like, looking at social media for myself, like, I know you're constantly producing and doing up to all this other stuff, but then you look at people and they've got their feet up on the beach, or they're doing all this other stuff. How do you what are some things that you haven't done yet that you're going to do? Any places you want to travel?
Any place I want to travel. I mean, I haven't really traveled many places.
Have you ever left the country?
Yeah, so I'm Moroccan, so my grandma's from Morocco, so I mean, like, that would be a cool place, I feel like, to travel.
I always say I want to go to Morocco because that's what she says in Almost Famous. That's literally my only reason.
I'm sure it would be cool. Any place, like, tropical.
So they don't speak Spanish, obviously, in Morocco. Where did you get singing Spanish and speaking Spanish?
Well, my dad speaks fluent Spanish. I don't like really speak Spanish. I kind of learned the Spanish for the song.
Okay. So you didn't speak Spanish growing up, like, in your house or anything?
No. I mean, I took Spanish, but I don't like
right.
Spanish.
Yeah. I passed Spanish, but yeah.
But I don't know it. I mean, I could read it.
Okay, because if you could have fooled me, I mean, you're singing it, and I'm like, it's impeccable, but I actually don't know what it's supposed to sound like. So I guess
Yeah,
I'm
I
not.
mean, I learned it for the songs, but
Yeah.
yeah.
The one song is very, very mature. The Baby Bella?
Baila.
Baila? That one, I'm like, wow, that's like a sexy lady song. Who wrote that one? You wrote that song?
It was like co-written kind of
Okay.
between myself and obviously Los. That's the guy that's in the song.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And you guys are still working together?
Right now I'm just focusing on my
Just
solo music.
yeah,
But
okay.
We put out a video, Champagne. That was our newest video.
Okay.
On YouTube. So that
Cool.
was a lot of people from actually the streets were in it.
Nice.
And other people, like just our friends that were in it. But that was like more of a storyline. So some of the videos are storylines, some are just like performance kind of videos. But that was like they came up with kind of like an idea, concept, and it kind of Jessica Rabbit.
Yes.
So that
yes.
was that was like my, I guess, supposed to be playing like kind of like dressed up as her.
Okay.
So kind of took a spin off of that.
Okay, that's you know what? Now that you say that, I remember seeing you in that. You had the purple dress and you had the streak in your hair. I do remember seeing that picture. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, Jessica Rabbit. Yeah, I love those gloves too. The purple
It was
gloves.
something different, you know.
Yeah, that's fun. She's such a sexy character. That's fun. Very cool, very cool. And the other movie that we mentioned, The Good Samaritan. What's that one about? Or what's your role in that?
Well, I have a very small role.
Okay, okay.
It's not out yet. They're still in the process of making
Okay.
it, so
we won't tell too many details.
Yeah, exactly. I told too much about the other one, so.
Well, I want to see that now because it's gonna. I'm very interested, honestly, and I've met Star, and I want to support anybody local, anybody that I've ran into. You in Las Vegas were very nice. Every time we met you guys, shake hands. You gotta promote each other and give, because it's like that's the only way it's gonna get away. Nancy Weems is saying Barbados. Yeah, I would go to Barbados, Nancy.
Anywhere.
She knows a couple of music artists in Barbados. Oh, Nancy, hook it up. Comedy is just like music business. I have already 5 interview agents and no luck yet. Jan Brenner. Yeah, no, it's. We were talking about this before. Comedy is no joke. Singing and dancing is no joke. You gotta take it professionally, like take it seriously. And people, see, oh yeah, you do shows and you have fun. And you do, no, yeah, but I do a lot of practice, and then I have to freaking shower and not smell bad and look nice, and a lot actually goes into it, and a lot more like what I said. Mine is a lot more forgiving. I'm here for an hour at my table. It totally can go to shit. There's no record label. There's no telling somebody saying, Mandy, that's not good enough. Redo it. And even if they do, it's my husband. I'm like, what are we going to do? Get in the DeLorean? Like, there's no going back. Like, do you beat yourself up? Are you your own worst critic? I mean, because I don't take criticism well. Like, you can't let me. I have to think it's totally my idea.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely hard on myself, 100%.
Okay.
I wouldn't take criticism well either, but there are certain things that obviously like I can learn from certain things that people tell me.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely hard on myself, 100%.
Yeah, they've learned how to work with me. They're like, okay, Mandy, we see the number at 100. Like, we want to see it closer to like 50. Because if they're like, you need to get half that done, it's not gonna work. I need to be praised like another way. Yeah, definitely got to think it's my idea. I'm not very good with the criticism. Cedric, wow, she's gorgeous. Yeah, Cedric, she's 20 years old. She's a freaking little kid. She's a punk kid. I offered her a drink, and her mom's like, yeah, okay, we're just going to be nice. Just shake her head and say nice.
I feel older than 20. That's the thing. Like, I feel like people are like, oh, you're so young. And that's fine. Like, I personally have gone through a lot, so I feel like I'm mature. I feel like for my age, and I definitely feel older.
Yeah. I mean, I thought when I was 19 and I hung out with people, I felt the same way. But now when I look back on it, like, you got so much to go. Like, I can't wait to see where you are at my age, because you already have so much under your belt. And like, you have over 6,000 people on YouTube, which I know all the comedians are trying to get at that 1,000 person mark so they could start changing the link to their name and stuff, and it's really hard because there are people that even the haters that will watch her stuff but they won't watch, they won't like it or share, or they'll share it, but yeah, but they're not gonna actually come out with their head, and you know. So
I definitely have my share with haters.
Now, do you feel like do you have people, because I'm friends with everybody, and I've had people be like, oh, you're a great singer. I'm like, okay, so you've actually never watched my comedy because I'm doing this with a microphone, like, yeah, great singer. Do you have people reach out to you? What's that like? I mean, you have mean people, anyone that you have to block, or?
Yeah, I definitely have had a lot of people in a negative way towards me, but you know, also a lot of positive. So
That's good. That's good.
I don't let it get to me. I obviously have my moments, but I don't let it. I just move forward and pushes me to go further.
Yeah. My mom's always like, they're just jealous. As she always told me when anyone was mean when I was younger. And I'm really glad that she beat that into me, because now when anybody says anything offhand, I'm like, they're just jealous of us. It's all it is. It's just jealousy. And even if they know it or not, it's just the green-eyed monster coming out. And it could just be as much as that you're out having fun and dancing and smiling, even if you're tired and, you know, holding your smile together, you know. It's really, it's so much work goes into it. And I can't believe you're a 20-year-old kid. I really like applaud you so much for so much that you have. First of all, so much great content. How young you are. I just don't forget me when you get when you tell Bieber that has to get rid of those horrible cornrows. Be like, my friend Mandy Jones wants to meet you to tell you how bad those cornrows are. Hopefully they'll be gone by then. He's got a little time. Justin Bieber. Anybody know Justin Bieber? We want to know. Sammy's gonna meet him, and we're gonna tell him how bad that hair looks. I will let that one slide out of love for you, Mandy. Cedric, I'm not calling you old. I'm just saying she's too young. I'm fucking 31, and I'm like, she's a kid. Positivity is the best way, Nancy. And the other thing I've learned is silence is a choice. You don't have to react to everything. Like, literally, I had somebody inbox me something, and I was like, I'm going to X that out, where I'm literally not going to, because my crazy head will go back to it and keep looking at it. I'm like, I don't even want to look at it. And then another message came through from the same person, and I literally am like, I can't give any energy to it, because that's what they want out of you, a rise. And you really put yourself out there. It's really hard, especially because even with like people like Nancy saying positivity is the best way. People are so mean on the other end, and it doesn't even get talked about. You know, oh, what do you eat? Because you're so skinny, and you know, and all this stuff. It's like, why? Because I'm good looking, and I put myself together, and this is my look, and this is what you know, it means you didn't eat breakfast, or you didn't fucking. It's just crazy the standards that people are held to. I feel like comedy is way more forgiving. Like, you be a fucking 400-pound gross man and do comedy. Like, you can't. They don't. Maybe you could sing country music and be a fat guy. I guess there's rappers that are fat guys too, but the Hispanic dudes are all pretty in shape. They all have like abs. The Latino guys. What kind of music do you listen to other than so you do Latin music and pop music? What other kind of music do you like? Is there any kind of music you will not listen to?
I like R&B music too. I feel like I like that. I mean, there's nothing really I wouldn't listen to. I mean, I listen to country too. Like, I listen to everything kind of. Not rock. I don't listen to rock really. But other than that,
I know the intro song which Robert Soleil did. I'm like, this is like the opposite of your music, like just the metal heavy. Your stuff's like lighter and happier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open to singing anything, but not rock. That's really.
Yeah. Oh man, Jones Beach though. I'm still floored. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. That's pretty awesome, and that stuff's gonna come back. Like I said, I think this summer, like I think this weekend, May, people are coming back out. So that means it'll be televised, and and people will be like, okay, we could all, now the TV said it's okay, so we could, you know, get back to some normalcy, so that you get on world tour, go to Barbados, do all the stuff we got to do. What did we call that? Brain rape? Jesus. Nancy, what are you talking about? That is out of control. I don't know what she's talking. Oh, I honestly don't know what she's talking about. But that is something else. What else did I want to ask you about? you told me. No, you told me you didn't play any instruments. You told me that your favorite performances.
I would like to learn piano. That is.
Ooh, that is real. When a girl can play the piano and sing just like acoustic, that is really nice.
I feel like it's also a lot easier to like make music because I could like be actually doing it.
Right, you can come in and be like, it's this.
Yeah.
You know, because honestly, it's if you know the piano, then it's the guitar and stuff too. My brother is very musically inclined with like any instrument like that. And he's like, oh, it's all the same. I'm like, okay, those four strings are the same as those freaking ivories over there. Okay. What else? Did you ever perform in school or do any talent shows, or is this now that you're now that you're graduated and out of school, kids you went to school with are seeing this side of you?
I did like chorus and things like that. But
Okay.
To be honest, I mean, like that was a big part. Like I was bullied in school. Like that was a big part of a lot of it. So, again, no one really understood. Me doing it so young, people were like, "What is this? Like, what is she really doing?" Like,
yeah.
And but I was so determined to move forward, and I did. And they didn't really get it. So to be honest, I don't talk to a lot of the people that I used to talk to in school and things like that. But I've made obviously a ton of new people through movies and music, and there aren't, I guess, you would say, the same level as where I am. Like, they have a goal, and not to say that people my age or that were in school don't, but,
right.
We have a different mindset, I feel like.
Right.
So.
And yeah, I feel like me and you sitting here at the table a decade apart are closer in what we're on track and what we're trying to do than I'm sure most 20-year-olds would be like, like on the fucking. Even I said something about like have the phone silence, and you were like, oh, like let me be conscious of like putting the phone away, which most 20-year-olds like don't even know that the phone could like not be attached to their head at all times. Is that something that you battle with? Because I know, as for me, it's like it becomes almost a chore that you got to get the pictures up and everything up, and especially that you kind of want to be posting stuff during like prime times. So how do you manage that? Do you set reminders, or when you get home from a shoot, do you do a photo dump, or are you like, tomorrow when I wake up, that's what's gonna happen? When you're in the car, how do you get it all done?
I mean, social media is definitely hard, like it's a lot to do, and I'm definitely still learning like all the time on, what to do, how to do, when to post and things like that. But I try to post like, when I have something or during it or after it to kind of like keep everyone updated, and when I have a new song or a snippet of in the studio. So I kind of just try to post it whenever I can. But I'm still learning all about it. And
I know. I'll find like I'll put stuff on like I'm like 2 a.m, like can't sleep, and I'm like dropping something. I'm like, I need to be putting stuff on 5 p.m. or like 3 o'clock when people are just about to leave work, or when they're like literally. But that's when I'm about to leave work and I'm showering and getting ready for this stuff. So it's hard. It's definitely hard to manage. And I've heard even people talk about buying bots and buying stuff. Like I had a friend who was a tattoo artist, and he was talking about at some point he had some bot on Instagram that anytime if you would put up a picture, my bot would be like, oh, great photo, like, or whatever. But it's not me. It's just some bot that I paid for. And I'm like, yeah, but at some point, like, I don't want that just automatically going off. And it's like, oh, you've responded weirdly to that thing that I wrote. And it's like, oh, because that was a bot that I paid. Like, it's really weird. Because your stamp is like everywhere on the internet. You're like cyber footprint. It's kind of weird because most people our age, they put everything out there, but they're like, oh, it's private, and like you got to be my friend. But us, we're like, you got to kind of share it with everybody. You want it out there for everyone to see. So are you very conscious of what you're like tagged in and who you hang out with?
Yeah, I mean, I don't post anything that's like, I try to be conscious of everything. But another thing is like the support. Like I know we were talking about before. Like that's why I try to post and share and tell people to share. But it is very hard. There are a lot of people who don't support it. But like there are people who do. So I guess you just have to
focus on them.
Yeah, and that's why the social media is so important with putting out there and trying to like get fans, because that is so hard.
No, it really is. That's why when I told Glenn that I was having you on, he's like, oh, that's great, because that's like crossing worlds. Like I usually have other comics on, so the odds of us knowing the people that, oh, Mandy, another person I know, another friend I know, oh, this isn't somebody I don't know, or maybe they'll see me on your page and they'll go, oh, I never saw, whatever. But that's the way you got to connect with as many people, those branches. Just as many virtual connections. Mandy, I have to leave. Have a great show. Love you. We love you, Jan Brenner. Oliver is saying, hey, Oliver, what do we have here? Oliver, I'm a stand-up comedian, and I'm interviewing Sammi Rae Murciano. She is a Latin music pop star. We have 5 minutes left. Do you have any questions, Oliver, other than what do we have here? Sammi Rae, that's what do we have here. Sammy with no E. That's the way to differentiate. How to find R-A-E. She's like the not like the ray of sunshine, Ray, like the name Ray. But like I guess some people use that name Ray too. Forget what I said. Like the female Ray, R-A-E. What's your favorite chore?
I mean, I don't have like specific. I mean, like, I help my, family around the house with anything. I don't.
Does mom do all the chores?
No, she does a lot, but I definitely try to help as much as I can because I appreciate everything that she puts into it.
Aww.
I am very thankful.
Oh, yes. I know that you wouldn't be here, your mom brought you here, but super supportive family that has to put up with this stuff because not only do they have to see the talent in you, but they're putting money up and their time, a lot of time. And I know it's going to pay off over there, Mom, because this stuff does. And I could tell just by looking at your stuff when you put the song that the Escapate when that video came out, I remember watching it with my husband and he was like, wow, like I said, just the production value is just so great, and I really can see what goes into it and really appreciate it, and I just can't wait to see what else you put out, and just knowing that, I was just so excited knowing that you write your own stuff, that you have so much say in what you do as a 20-year-old kid. Not most of them don't have much say what goes on in their life, and to be able to have what goes on in your art at this age is great because that means it's only going to get better from here. It's not that you're some backup singer trying to get in the front line. You're already putting out stuff by yourself, and I just can't wait to see what you do. You are very welcome. Oliver, did you have it? Oh, no. He got tagged. No. And favorite chore, damn Mandy, it's shopping. I actually don't like shopping. Someone should have listened to, but she's signed. Maybe he's a music. Oliver, do you do music? That's maybe why you're getting tagged here. Sammi Rae has her music on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. You can find her everywhere. She's as you see above, Sammi Rae, Sammirae Murciano, Murciano. Stay tuned for the world tour. I'm gonna have backstage passes, and I will share pictures. Sammi Rae, thank you so much for your time. Staying up past your bedtime because you're a 20-year-old little punk that needs to get home. That I offered alcohol to you guys. Oh my God. Yes, Oliver, you produce music. Check out Sammi Rae Murciano. She's on, like I said, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Find her. Tell her that you saw her on the Calamity Jones Hour, and be respectful and maybe pay her enough money, and you can get her out to your studio. Thank you so much, Sammi. Everybody, thank you for watching and hanging with us.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you guys. That's the show.